Let's play while sitting at home. We invite you to participate in the traveling game Qazaq Quest and test your knowledge about your favorite city, learn new facts, be surprised, and have a laugh. 12 cities of Kazakhstan and celebrities who agreed to complete the quest. Brave and smart travelers, how much patience, strength, and knowledge they need to stay in the game. 1 city, 2 chances for a clue. 3 tasks, 4 blitz questions, and 5 most beautiful places in each city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go! In the last episode, we visited one of the most beautiful cities in Kazakhstan, Oskimem. We visited the Zhasybai Park and the Memorial Complex Victory, got acquainted with the residents and learned about the history of the region, and also saw the largest inscription Kazakhstan on Abylay Kit mountain. Hello, this is Qazaq Quest. My name is Aidyn. I am glad to welcome you again to our new episode. As you may have guessed, I went to the next round, and I'm ready to solve the next task. Where can you go in Atyrau and what kind of sights it has in our today's episode? So here we are in Atyrau. The city got its name for a reason because it is located in the Caspian lowland. Unofficially, Atyrau is also called the oil capital of Kazakhstan, since it is here that the most of the oil and gas fields and rigs are located. Today there are many ways to get to Atyrau. The city is connected by the A340 road with Astrakhan, as well as with Ural. 6 highways and 1 pedestrian bridge run across the western and eastern parts of the city. You can also get to Atyrau by train from different cities. Routes from Almaty, Nur-Sultan, Shymkent, Aktau, and Aktobe are the most popular. The station serves over 3,000 passengers daily. It was built in 1971, and in 2015 the station was renovated according to new standards. It is equipped with comfortable rooms for mothers, VIP rooms, and a canteen. Nearby there is a parking lot and a bus station. But of course, if you are more fond of traveling quickly and with comfort, then there is nothing better than air travel, especially since one of the oldest airports is located in Atyrau. And it has one more feature. It is considered the lowest airport in the world, located at the altitude of 22 meters below sea level. The airport bears the name of the legendary pilot and the national hero of Kazakhstan, Qazaq Dospanova. It was founded in 1931 and began to function permanently and fully in 1996. The very first aircraft in the city appeared during the Civil War in 1918. This was also due to the fact that in those years, active air combat operations took place along the Uralsk-Guryev line. Today, the airport meets all international standards. It has the necessary amenities, lockers, waiting rooms, a medical center, shops, cafeterias, etc. If you think that this is the end of the amazing facts about Atyrau, then you are strongly mistaken. Few people know that the city is divided into European and Asian parts. In fact, it is located on the border between Europe and Asia, and even the city's districts are divided along this line. I do not know everything about the city, so I'm interested to find out more about it from its residents. What can they tell about the peculiarities of Atyrau and what places are worth visiting for guests and tourists? Hello, can I ask you something? How are you? I'm all good. Sure, go ahead. I participate in the Qazaq Quest program on Qazaq TV channel. My name is Aidyn. I wanted to ask you what kind of places are popular among guests and tourists in Atyrau. Mostly they go to Jibek. To Jibek, you say? Yes, there is also Makambet Square, Jibek Embankment, and Makambet Otemisuli Square, right? There is also Isatai. Well, it is also there. Makambet Isatai. And on this side there is Kurmangazi Square. In the evening it is crowded. Everyone gathers here. Children especially like it. Thank you. Good luck. Bye. It's my first time in Atyrau. Where can I go now to walk and see the city? Except for the river walk, I mean. There is a museum nearby. What museum? There is a museum. Look over there. So we are advised to go to a lot of different places. I also learned that apart from oil wealth, Atyrau is famous for fishing, especially sturgeon, as well as red and black caviar. In 1640, a merchant named Guri Nazarov built a wooden spur and together with his family organized a fish farm. Later in 1647, 1648, on the order of the Tsar, a city was founded here, which received the name of Lower Yaitsk. Only by the 19th century, it began to be called Guryev in honor of the founder merchant Guryev. The city began to grow in 1930s when the construction of a fish canning plant began, and later an oil refinery, the State Oil Refinery Plant, and the Zhilgorodok residential complex appeared. Well, I can't wait to start the game and visit the most beautiful places in the city.
Qazaq Quest, маған алғаш тапсырманы бер.
Listen carefully. This is the task number 1. You can go from Asia to Europe in just 5 minutes by foot. Well, this is definitely impossible. Even if we take into account that the city is located between Europe and Asia, it takes at least 10 minutes to get from one part of it to another. And here it says 5 minutes. And even on foot. What a riddle. But it looks like I know who will help me. Here he is. Hello, Oljas. Hello. Nice to meet you. You too. Oljas Suleymanov, head of Bolshak Association branch and chairman of Atyrau Regional Anti-Corruption Unit. He is a laureate and winner of international competitions and prizes, including the Darin Youth Prize and the Many Languages One World contest. He leads active social life, regularly meets with students, and conducts master classes and trainings for them, and also participates in the organization of international conferences and forums. While with such an assistant, we will definitely be able to not only go around the whole city, but also to get acquainted with the most beautiful and unique places. Listen, I have a problem. I have to walk from Asia to Europe. How would I do it? I have a couple of thoughts on how to help you. Ready to go to the borders? You bet! Today, tourism in Atyrau is developing quite actively. The most popular direction is a sports tourism, which includes rock climbing, horse riding, and camping. Most of all, the city is famous for its archaeological finds. There are 7 historically significant sacred monuments in the region. These are Imankara Complex, Tomb of Makambet Otemisuli, Saray Sheikh Memorial Complex, Kulshan Ata Underground Mosque, Akhmeshit and Ushkan necropolises, and Aral Tube Mound. Particular attention should be paid to religious sites, since the Akhmeshit Biket necropolis, located 40 kilometers from the city, was built already in the 19th century and is quite well preserved today. This place of pilgrimage is considered one of the most significant sacred sites where a person with a pure heart and thoughts can receive answers to his prayers. What a beautiful cathedral! This is the Cathedral of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, a monument of the 19th century. By the way, tourists love to visit it. Do you know exactly when it was built? In 1885. It was built by the merchant Fyodor Tudakov. Let me take a photo. What a beauty! The construction of the cathedral went on for 10 years. But in Soviet times, the temple was abandoned for a long time, and only in 2000s it was restored and it began to function again. The cathedral is included in the list of architectural monuments of Republican significance, and this is another treasure of the city, which few people knew about before our Qazaq Quest program. What are other unique places that the city can offer tourists? They have the opportunity to take a boat trip down the Ural. In the vicinity, there are many rare birds that are listed in the Red Book. Also, fishing is very popular. Great! In addition to cultural and historical monuments, there is a state natural reserve Akjayik near the city, which was included in the World Network of UNESCO Biosphere Reserves 6 years ago. It grows plants that are listed in the Red Book, and among the birds, there are such rare ones as the little egret, sultan ibis, etc. I heard that you have many streets here that bear the names of famous people. There is also Admiral Lev Vladimirovsky, Ilyas Zhansegurov, Sultan Beyberes. What else are there? You're right, we really have a lot of streets with interesting names. Such street names as Dmitry Mendeleev, Isatai Taymanoli, Abulai Kair Khan immediately come to mind. Atyrau has historically been associated with many important events and personalities whose names are given to its streets. The city was visited by Yemelyan Pugachev and Stepan Razin, who in different years captured the city. Here lay the life path of the leaders of the national uprising Isatai Taymanoli and Makambet Utimisali. This is a place of birth of the Soviet geological engineer and laureate of many prizes, Joly Dosmukambeta. I read that you also have many famous squares. There are Dina Nurpiisova, Isatai, and Makambet Dosmukamedov, Kurmangazy squares. There are also monuments to such famous figures as Kurmangazy and Sultan Beyberes. Fariza Ungarsinova, Kalel Dosmukamedov. Atyrau is just like an encyclopedia. As soon as I came, I got acquainted with the history. Yes, there are many monuments, and they're also located in different parts of the city. You have a chance to see one more attraction. We are already approaching the square of Isatai and Makambet. Oh yes, it looks much bigger when you see it in person. I'll take a picture. Great. The square is named after the leaders of the Qazaq uprising in Bukay Orda, Isatai Taymanoli and Makambet Otimis Uli. There is a monument with historical heroes riding horses. There are many benches and fountains around, as well as decorative structures made in the national style. The Mangali Mosque is the second religious object that we saw on our way today. Unlike other temples, this modern structure built in 2001 complies with all traditional Muslim canons. The colors were not chosen by chance, white and blue, as a symbol of the sky, purity and sublimity. Minarets are located on both sides, and the dome reaches the height of 23 meters. This is why the mosque is considered the tallest mosque in Western Kazakhstan. We went around a lot of places, but I still haven't found the answer to the question. How can I cross Europe and Asia in just 5 minutes? You have no idea how soon you will be able to solve this riddle. There is very little left. We are already near Victory Park. Well, this is very encouraging. Let's see what is interesting in the park. Victory Park is rich in monuments and military objects, such as the An-2 airplane, BMP-1 tank, M30 howitzer, A special place here is occupied by the Alley of Memory of Residents of Atyrau region, awarded the Star of the Hero of the USSR, the Eternal Flame, and the Wall of Memory. When you find yourself in such places, you think about various important things, especially about how many heroic personalities there are among our fellow countrymen. It is true, Victory Park is a very significant place. Wait, is this a footbridge? Yes, it crosses the Ural River and is called 10 Years of Independence, although it has another, unofficial name, Bridge from Asia to Europe. Did you say from Asia to Europe? Well, let's turn on the stopwatch and check something. The bridge, 10 Years of Independence, was built in 2001. Its uniqueness lies in the design that allows streamers to easily pass under the bridge. In addition, it can support the weight of 100,000 people at a time. The length is 551 meters, which is why it is the longest pedestrian bridge in the world. As a result, it was included in the Guinness Book of Records. We got there in 5 minutes. Oljas, I think I found the answer. Now, Qazaq Quest. In 5 minutes, you can get from Asia to Europe through the bridge called 10 Years of Independence.
Congratulations! This is the correct answer. The first task is completed.
The fact that I coped with the first task so quickly is very encouraging. I hope that there will be no further difficulties. Qazaq Quest, I am waiting for the next task.
Listen carefully. Task number 2. Coins and ancient jugs from the depth of centuries are safely hidden in this building, since it is the home of the Golden Man. Find the place that for many years faithfully preserves the region's history.
So, all antiquities are usually kept in museums. Do you have any museums? Or historical sites where excavations are taking place? Where can you go to try to solve the task? We have 3 museums. This is the Atyrau Museum of Paleontology and the Museum of History and Local Lore. There is also the Museum of Military Equipment, but it is now moving to another building, to the Technical University Students' Palace. Apparently, you need to visit both museums to understand where the answer lies. What is closer to us? The closest is the Museum of Paleontology. Then, let's go! Yes, unfortunately, today we won't be able to visit the Museum of Military Glory. This is truly one of the most unique places in the city. It contains more than 2,000 different documents, photographs, medals and letters of Kazakhstan people who went to the war in the 1940s. The founder of the museum, Vyacheslav Afanasyev, for many years collected information and formed the archives of the museum. Next to the museum, there is another unusual park called Retro. And this is not surprising because it is made in the style of the 50s of the 20th century. The park also houses an amphitheater, an exhibition pavilion, cafes, ponds, walking paths that stretch along the alleys and embankments. The Palace of Culture, named after Kurmangazi, is one of the significant buildings that rises on its territory, and Zhilgorodok is the place that is truly one of the oldest objects in the city, and the locals have a special love towards it. Well, let's see if we are on the right track. Paleontological Museum is the only museum of the Mesozoic period in Kazakhstan. All finds were collected by the local historian paleontologist Yuri Pastukov. Together with his students, he conducted archaeological expeditions for several years and each time replenished the museum's collection. Among all the exhibits of particular interest are the fossilized teeth of sharks, rays, vertebrae, and bones of plesiosaurs, mollusks that lived 150 million years ago, as well as bones and horns of wild deer and ancient bulls. In total, the fund contains more than 8,000 exhibits. This is really a rather unique place that everyone who comes to Atyrau should visit. Hello. Welcome to the Paleontological Museum. Happy to meet you. Many world museums can envy the value and uniqueness of the exhibits collected here. All of them were found in our area, in the Akko-Gershin Plateau and Aktolagai. Once upon a time, the Akko-Gershin and Aktolagai plateaus were the seabeds. Here you can find the remains of fossils that have turned into stone sponges, corals, snails, worms, jellyfish, and other representatives of the marine fauna. Here are the ancient sharks, rays, plesiosaurs, and ichthyosaurs. Also, hitherto unknown in nature roots of plants, parts of trees that have turned into stone. It is impossible to list all of them. This only suggests that life here once was in full swing. Now I'm sure that the most ancient objects in the city are located here. I'll check it out now. Qazaq Quest. I believe that the place where the history of the region is kept is the Paleontological Museum.
Unfortunately, you're wrong. Refresh the task in your memory and try again.
Well, I jumped the gun and the answer turned out to be wrong. So the task was to find a place where antiquities are stored. It also mentioned something about coins. Yes, exactly. And the Gold Man. We did not see the Gold Man here. Did you say you have another museum? Yes, of local history. Then we need to go exactly there. I hope this time we will be more lucky. Let's go. Thanks for your help. Goodbye. Goodbye. We are heading to the second museum, and as far as I know, many ancient things have been found in the city and in its vicinity. I even heard that hidden caches of coins and money were hidden in the old merchant houses here and there. And also that around Atyrau, every now and then fossils of ancient animals are found. And at the same time, not only scientists, but also local residents could find all these finds. Did you find anything like that? No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I did not find anything like that. To be honest, I would love to try on the role of an archaeologist myself and unearth some teeth of a prehistoric shark or a dinosaur claw. In the vicinity of Atyrau, excavations of the Aktobe laity settlement were carried out for several years. It was one of the major cities of the Golden Horde, which is still not fully explored. The most ancient artifacts were discovered at the excavation site, including jewelry and coins. Not only scientists, but also ordinary tourists are also attracted by the chalk outcrops of Akko-Gershin and Aktolagai, located 40 kilometers from the city, a striking wonder of nature, which is a treasure trove of lost caves, white rocks, and rare fossils. Another ancient settlement is Sarayshik. It was founded in the 12th century during the invasion of Genghis Khan. Sarayshik was the cultural center of the Golden Horde, through which caravans passed from Europe to Asia and back. I am hungry. Can we grab a bite? Why not? Since we are in Atyrau, you simply have to try some fish dishes. Now we will go to a cafe and you will advise me what to order. Agreed? Deal. Let's go. In Atyrau, people really love fish. According to statistics, each resident eats an average of 1.267 kilograms of fish a month. In cafes and restaurants, fish steaks, baked dorado, and chef's salmon are especially popular. Well, we got some energy, let's go and explore. Do you think you already know Atyrau well? I think yes. To our right is the alley named after the hero of the Soviet Union, Kayrgali Smagulov, who participated in the Kerch-Eltigan landing operation and led a group of paratroopers in the battle for the village of Eltigan. To our left is the square named after Kurmangazi, on which there are two obelisks, war and musicians. It seems to me that in such a short time, I began to better understand the city of Atyrau. For those who used to think that it was rich only in oil and fish, today we saw so many historical and cultural sites that it's time to collect things and move here to live. Yes, few people know about such places, and what is good, every year there are more and more people who learn about it, and it is delightful. We are already approaching the Atyrau Historical and Ethnographic Museum. It was founded in 1939 on the basis of the school museum. On November the 5th, 1940, it was already opened for visitors. Back in the day, about 200 artifacts were collected. Today, there are more than 60,000 of them. The museum contains the unique cultural and historical values of the city, found during various expeditions in the mountains of Imangara, Akkagershin, and Aktogay. There are also several exhibition halls. These are Mystery of the Century, Ethnography, Archaeology, the Nature of the Region, History of the Region of the 12th, 20th centuries, the Great Patriotic War of 1941-1945, Culture and Literature of the Region, and Independence of Kazakhstan. Is that a cannon? Wow! Oljaz, please take a photo of me. Well, is it a good one? Excellent. Good. Let's go then. Before us is a real historical value, a fortress cannon of the 17th century. It weighs 1,920 kilograms, and the weight of one ball is 5 kilograms, while the firing range is 205 meters. The Museum of Local Lore. Let's go and see it. Hello. Hello. Welcome to our museum. Pleased to meet you. My name is Dinara Amanjol Qazaq. I work as a guide in the Atyrau Museum of History and Local Lore. Great. We are very happy. Tell us briefly about the history of this museum. Atyrau Museum of History and Local Lore was opened on July the 22nd, 1939, on the basis of regional museums. It was officially opened on October the 5th, 1940. At the time, the museum welcomed its visitors with only 214 exhibits. Great! Now I would like to acquaint you with the exhibits of this hall. What do we have here? Here we have a model of the place where the Golden Man was found. That is, the model of the Aral-Tibet mound. Its peculiarity lies in the fact that it looks like the sun, of a round shape. This suggests that the Sarmatians worshipped the sun. Also, the upper part consists of 4 parts, and the lower part consists of 12 parts. Apparently, this meant for the Sarmatians that there are 12 months and 4 seasons in a year. This proves that already in those days, the Sarmatians knew about it. And this is a utensil which they once used. Sarmatians were already using pottery at that time. It was found here in Aral-Tibet, which is located in Atyrau region. This once again proves the fact that the Sarmatians buried people along with their tools and household utensils. All this pottery belongs to the ancient Iron Age. This is our ethnographic hall. It is considered to be one of the brightest halls of our museum. Exhibits related to the culture, life, and traditions of the Qazaq people are collected here. Everything that you see has been collected from time immemorial. There are exhibits related to the life of Qazaqs, jewelry, and much more. This hall is considered the most beautiful in the museum. That is, ancient products of the Qazaq people are preserved here. Wooden dishes, copper dishes. There are also silver products of the 19th century. Here you can also see the nomadic dwelling of Qazaqs, the yurt, and the clothing hall. One of the most valuable exhibits is this clay jug. It was found during excavations in the Sarayshik area in 1909 at the depth of 3 meters. When the jug was found, it was split into 24 pieces. Specialized craftsmen collected piece by piece and restored it completely. The peculiarity of this earthenware jug is that fragments of the famous poem by Josip Balasagin, Kutadgu Bilik, dating to the 11th century, are written on it. It seems to me that here are the antiquities we need, and this is the very place from the riddle. I'll check it now. Qazaq quest. Ancient coins, jugs, old books, mirrors, jewelry are kept in the Atyrau Museum of History and Local Lore. And of course, the gold man is watching over all these riches.
This time you found the right answer. Congratulations!
Hooray! Thanks! Well, there is one question left, and thank you, Dinara, for your help. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'm happy too. Goodbye. All the best. Well, Oljas, it's time to say goodbye. You helped me a lot today. Thanks for the support. If you're ever in the neighborhood, call me. I will meet you. Deal? Deal. Until next time. So I coped with 2 tasks. The last one remains. Let's see what the game has in store for us. Qazaq quest. I'm waiting for the next task.
Listen carefully. Task number 3. This is the place where the classics come to life, where Abai reads poetry and Katharina argues with Petruchia, where Isatai and Makambet fight the enemies with swords.
So, another tricky riddle. How many famous personalities need to be found, and what kind? I'll ask Google. In Atyrau, there is a Museum of Applied Arts of Shaymardan Sariev, which opened in 1992. It contains works by artists, both established and very young. It hosts exhibitions, conferences, and meetings of artists every year. In the Palace of Culture of oil workers named after Dina Nurpiisova, mainly various seminars, symposiums, KVN games, or celebrations are held. Separately, a modern dance center also functions. Well, here's the famous theater of the city. Let's go inside and take a look around. Regional Academic Drama Theater of Makambet Otemisuli is one of the oldest theaters in Kazakhstan. It was opened in 1938 on the basis of the Oil Worker Club. The founders of the theater were young actors Shashti Jumabekova, Aidyn Zhasybai, Aidyn Zhasybai, and Kuat Tulakov. We are now standing near the stage of this theater. Next to me is one of the professional actresses, culture worker of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Annette Bayatova. Madam Annette, happy to meet you. Welcome. So the first question, how many years have you been working in this theater? I have been working in this theater for 46 years. Wow! 46 years! Yes, we first started with a production that we are still proud of. This is Chekhov's The Seagull. It was then staged by director Sharafuddinov. Unfortunately, he passed away. On this stage, there were such performances as Kobalandi, Abai, Mad Money, Treachery and Love by Schiller. There were plays by Ostrovsky, the world classics, and the play The Taming of the Shrew. Then Jibek, Cloth, Akbala, and many other plays were performed on this stage. What kind of plays do you stage today? Today we have the title of academic theater, and our repertoire corresponds to our title. The renewal. Today you have turned from a young Annette into a knowledgeable, educated professional. You are the pride of Atyrau and the country. Are you satisfied with the younger generation of artists? Their education is better now. I drew attention to the fact that now versatile young artists are being hired into the theater. They can both sing and dance. As they say, they have a potential for developing stage experience. They can do everything.
өлең де айта біледі. Сахнадағы мынау сценический бой дейді ғой.
I am very pleased to interview a person like you. Thank you very much. Health to you. I wish you to continue to shine on the theater stage. We are very happy to meet you. We enjoyed our meeting. On behalf of all viewers, I want to wish you good health. Thank you. Thanks. And all the best to you. Have a safe trip. We are now standing in the theater workshop. Various props and decorations are made here.
Түрлі бұйымдарды дәл осы жерде жасайды.
Such things are taking place here. What plays are being staged in your theater now? Mainly for theater and festivals, they prefer classics. Yes, fortunately we have enough classics in our repertoire. But unfortunately the audience's request is limited to comedies or everyday live dramas. And we are forced to move in this direction. And for the 175th anniversary of Abai, this is a holiday celebrated at the world level. Yes, where there is Abai, there are Qazaq people. Where there are Qazaq people, there is Abai. It is truth. So now we're going to stage Abai. Director Mukagali Tolmanov staged a genre-staged performance based on the play by Iran Gaib, Is There a Poison That I Have Not Drunk? The peculiarity of this performance is that here we show how the great Abai came to this world and how he lived it. Today we also live the same life that Abai saw in his time. Another production is The Taming of the Shrew, although there hasn't been a premiere yet. Wonderful! You have rehearsals today, right? Yes, rehearsals are underway. Fortunately, the directors do a good job. A properly organized performance helps the actors to become better. Thanks for your interview. Bye. On behalf of our viewers, I wish you good health. See you. Thank you. France. Young actors are currently in rehearsal. In a few minutes, their online production begins. As you can see, they're getting ready now.
Халқым, жұмбақтың жауабы осы театр екеніне сенімдімін.
I am sure the theater is the answer. Let's check it out. Qazaq Quest. My answer is the theater of Makambet Otimisuli, because within its walls there were performances of many world works, including the plays Abai and The Taming of the Shrew.
And this is the correct answer. Congratulations, you have completed the quest.
Dear friends, well, congratulations are in order. I won today. Well, friends, today I discovered a completely different city of Atyrau. We have visited so many wonderful places. got acquainted with the residents of the city, learned about various cultural and historical sites that keep the memory of famous people. Unfortunately, I have to say goodbye to you, Atyrau. Until next time, goodbye.